guys, welcome to today's video. Make sure you visit podcastformarketers.com for more information. Over there, I have a really kick-ass course on how you can make at least a few grand a month on simple reoccurring revenue, right? And that's called Freedom Funnels. And make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel, man. I'm put out videos every day, so you don't want to miss what I put up, because I put out some pretty kick-ass content. And man, I always want you guys to comment below, man. I absolutely love all the comments you guys bring. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions, I'm always in the comment section. I really love the community. Let's get into the video. All right, guys. So today, you're going to get my prediction for the Mayweather fight. Who's going to win? Well, I'm picking Mayweather. But why am I picking Mayweather, right? I'm not picking Mayweather for any emotional reasons. I'm only picking Mayweather because of his fucking training and his fighting. And he's a real boxer. The other guys, well, I'm going to say he's a traditional boxer. Other guys, this newfangled boxing, right? What can we learn? Excuse me. What can we learn, which is more important here? What lessons are there? I had a talk in my group about this. And if you're here, it's good, because I wanted to show you a lesson really quickly about what we can learn about marketing from the Mayweather fight, right? Number one is Mayweather as a character in general. He's the exact reason, excuse me. He is the exact reason, or the epitome of a very polarizing character. Right? If I could spell character right. All right. Yeah. All right, so I think so. If not, you know what I'm talking about. Now, he is a very polarizing character, right? He stands for everything we don't like. Money, right? He knows people hating on him, and he has haters. But if there's one thing that I know for sure, is haters are your biggest fans, okay? He's a very polarizing character. He stands for, I'm having money, and that's all I'm doing. I don't care about boxing. I'm not going to, well, he cares about boxing, but it's like, I'm not going to bust my ass without getting paid. I'm risking my life. I could end up being like, you know, like rest in peace, Muhammad Ali was, you know, they're trying to say that was behind the boxing or whatever, right? A lot of dudes end up dead, or with some type of disease or head injuries or whatever. And he's like, listen, I'm about to get my money. Roy Jones Jr. was the same way. I'm about my money, right? He kind of started that whole shit. And like, you know, I want to get my proper paychecks. If we're not getting paid, I'm not doing the fight, right? And Mayweather's the same way. A lot of people don't like that. He's a bad sportsman. He talks about money a lot. You know, he's fucking his money off on cars and, you know, Lambos and hoes, right? But do you think that Mayweather is really like that? Do you think that Mayweather just sits at home counting money all the time and that's all he does? Or do you think that Mayweather's a real person like you and I, and he has real feelings, and that, you know, he can fall in love and he gets his feelings hurt, and, you know, he can't fucking read? Do you think when people talked about him online, did it hurt his feelings that he couldn't read? Of course it did, because he responded, right? Do you think when people said that he couldn't pay his taxes, did it hurt his feelings? Of course it did, because he showed the check where he did pay his taxes, right? So he's a person just like everybody else, right? And you can always see the chinks in a character. If you just watch them long enough, all of these guys that are online that have these strong personas, every last one of them, you can clearly see that is shtick most of the time, right? And Mayweather's no different. But the reason why, the lesson that you can learn, excuse me, the lesson that you can learn from this is that number one is nobody likes vanilla. Nobody likes vanilla, right? Nobody loves that. You need to stand on one side or the other, right? Either way, you know, you can't say, like we had someone comment, I don't care about the fight. I just care about watching the techniques, right? That's too vanilla. I really don't care who wins. We want to know which side are you on. And if you notice that in the conversation in the group, you can clearly see that people stand on one side or the other, right? This is why Donald Trump won. okay, because he was on one side. He wasn't wishy-washy, which is why Hillary Clinton lost. She was too busy trying to play middle of the road. That's not what people want. People want you to be polarizing and have a strong opinion to one side or the other, okay? So this is why he's making so much money. Now, you want to know about the Irish dude. Well, was he being a dick beforehand? As much of a dick as he is now? No. It looks like a WWE match, right? Which is another marketing machine. So if you want to learn something, look how he's standing on one side. Do you really think that he and Mayweather feel the way they portray about each other? No. Those dudes are having drinks. They're flying around the world. They're talking big shit, and they're laughing all the way to the bank because they're moving people emotionally. So in my question in the group with who will win, right? Who will win? Not one response was logical. I probably was the only guy talking in the whole damn thread logically. I didn't ask you, who do you feel will win? I said, who will win? Then I says, who do you want to win? Right? Two different questions. Who do you want to win and who will win is two different things, right? So when you got answers, you heard about, all of a sudden, things start coming out about Mayweather and his problem with women, right? He beats women. That came out, right? Then you heard another one says, well, the Irish dude, I want him to win, but he talks too much trash. These are all feelings, right? So if you go look at that thread, you can understand that people make decisions with emotion, okay? Just go look at the thread in the group. If you're not a part of my group, funnelhackerpro.com, you need to go over there and join up. Answer the questions. Or if you don't answer the questions, I'm not going to let you in, right? So, but go over to funnelhackerpro.com and go look at the thread. And you'll see that most of the answers in there are emotional. No one is actually talking about boxing, right? They want one person to win or the other person to win because they don't like Mayweather or they don't like the Irish dude. What's it, Mcgregor, right? Conor McGregor, something, whatever his name is, the Irish dude, right? It's because they don't like either one of them, right? They're not making a decision. It's very hard to make a decision when you're talking about something like this. Can you do it logically? If you do it logically or you want to, just look at the Vegas odds. Right? Who has the odds? Who has the favor? Who's Vegas favoring, right? So, but that's not what people do, right? So that's the number one thing that you can learn. When you're doing your own content and when you're doing your niche, right? And you have your own business, remember, you don't have to be a total dick, right? But you need to stand on one side or the other when you have a decision. You cannot play this middle line, right? You can't be middle of the road. You can't be, straddling the fence. So if, for instance, let's just say you're a fisherman. All right, this is perfect. Do you catch and release? Or do you catch and cook? You need to stand on one side or the other. You can't say, oh, well, sometimes I catch and release. Or, in other words, because I don't like killing the fish, or I want to save fish for later on or whatever, for the future, or I don't want to harm the fish or whatever. Or I'm a fisherman and I like to eat fish, and that's just all it is to it, right? I'm only going to release when it's illegal to keep it. I want a bigger fish. All right? That's a big way to stand on one side or another. And if you have a fishing channel, you mention this. Okay? You say, hey, man, I don't understand what these guys, this old catch and release. I want to eat. That's what I say. I'm going to eat what I catch. The hell? Seriously. Over here in France, a fishing license is $100 per person. So I have to pay for my girl. So that's $200 we have to pay every year for a fishing license. Well, let's include the $5,000 I spend every year on fishing equipment and never catch anything, right? That's $5,200 worth of fucking fish. I'm eating that fish. I mean, we had 1 year where we literally spent something like $50-something hundred on fishing equipment, and we caught 2 fish. That means that we spent like $2,700, $2,600 per fish. You didn't think we ate those fish? We ate those fucking fish, man. Right? So my point in saying that is that you need to mention that and stand on one side or the other. Now, what you're doing when you do this is you're becoming magnetic. All right, polarizing. That's why they say that. And what that means is that you're going to attract your ideal client. When somebody watches me fish, I want them to cook and eat their fish. And so I'm going to mention that so I won't get some bad comments on YouTube saying, you just didn't kill your fish. So I'm going to mention that. And what that's going to do, it's going to give me a market match. Okay? That's what that's going to do. That's going to say, now, Mayweather, what he's doing is he's saying, hey, listen, I want everybody to hate me, right? I want everybody to bet against me. I want everybody to watch. People are going to watch. He wants all the eyeballs on him because they want him to lose, right? More people respond to negative shit than they will positive shit. So if he's got a lot of fans that say, hey, I want Mayweather to win, that's not who he wants. He wants the entire world to hate him so they can pay to watch him lose. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to get a market match, right? So if you're a fisherman and you want to catch and you want to cook and eat your fish, you mention that and you do that in your videos. So the no-kill dudes will just go, no, I don't want to watch this channel. The catch and release guys, because this guy isn't doing what I would do if I were in his situation, right? So you repel these dudes, right? On the other hand, you are a magnet to guys that eat fish. And that is your ideal client. That is your prospect. That is the ideal person that you want watching your channel. Why? Because if you have affiliate products and you have these guys, these no-kill catch and release guys, and you're selling a fish a grill, right? Or maybe you're selling some a special seasoning. These guys are gonna be like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna buy a grill, right? Or it could be something as simple as barbed hooks, right? People that don't want to kill the fish don't use barbed hooks. Now, I don't know if you know this. This is just a side note. Barbed hooks aren't actually to be able to hold the fish. They're actually there to hold the bait onto the hook, okay? But they get stuck in the fish and they could harm the fish. And guys that don't want to kill and want to catch and release will not use barbs, okay? As a matter of fact, here in France, a lot of fishing ponds and some places where they have trout, you can only use barbless hooks, right? So you can easily unhook the fish and they won't go harmed, right? I think that's total bullshit. If you don't want to harm a fish, don't catch it in the first place. I'm just being honest with you. All right, now, you see how polarizing that was, right? You see how I felt. If you don't want to harm the fish, don't catch it in the first place. Just don't go fishing then. That's how strong you need to stand up, right? And you're going to repel everybody that you don't want as your ideal person watching your content. You want everybody watching your content to like your content. All right, guys, I'm going to watch the fight. Coffee break.